Yo, it's your boy Luap coming back at it again with another video. In this video, I will recap and review Pokemon Journeys episode 99, Marnie of Spikemouth, as well as give my predictions for episode 100, Close Contact, Leon Special Training. If you guys enjoy episode reviews as well as recaps each and every week, then I highly suggest you hit the like button and subscribe as it truly helps support the channel. Before we begin with today's video, I just want to plug the Pichu Bros Discord server where we talk about Pokemon Journeys, all the other series, and much more. We also have a spoilers channel if you want to avoid that, or if you want to talk about the juicy leaks that are out right now about certain characters returning. But with all that being said, let's begin by recapping the events of episode 99. The episode begins with the narrator reintroducing the Pokemon World Coronation series and featuring some of the most iconic battles that have happened along the way. The camera then pans out to Ash's next opponent Marnie, who along with her Morpeko are waiting backstage for the battle to begin. In another scene, Ash and Go are found to be walking alongside dark creepy buildings, which turns out to be the Spikemouth gym, and it turns out they're the only ones there. In a flashback, Ash recalls that some of the Team Yell grunts told him that the PWC battle is now going to take place in the Spikemouth gym, so he's kind of confused as to why there's no one around. Not too long after, Ash and Go are intrigued by a rock band playing in the arena, so Ash quickly approaches them and starts asking questions about the gym and the World Coronation Series battle. The person leading the band introduces himself to Ash. He's Piers, the gym leader of Spikemouth. Ash then introduces himself to Piers, and upon hearing his name, Piers instantly recognizes the trainer from Kanto being in the hyper class of the World Coronation Series. Piers is confused with Ash being here because the battle is actually supposed to happen in the Wydon Stadium. Ash tells him what happened earlier with the Team Yell thing and realizes that they were trying to sabotage him. Piers reveals that Marnie is his sister, and Go worriedly tells Ash that there's not much time left before the battle begins. This causes Ash to freak out, so Piers offers him a ride straight to Wydon because, well, it was his fault indirectly. They decide to go on Piers' motorcycle, which should be super quick, but Piers is a safe driver, so safety first. During the ride, Ash and Piers have a conversation about Marnie, and Piers says that Spikemouth, unlike other gyms in Galar, have no power spots for Dynamaxing, and that Team Yell is a fan club specifically created to support Marnie. In the Wydon Stadium, the host announces that if Ash doesn't show up in a few minutes, then Marnie will win by default. Ash eventually arrives just in time, and we see him engage in a funny banter with some of the Team Yell grunts. We also get a cute scene of Pikachu and Morpeko being good friends already. Go eventually catches up to the stadium after riding on a flying taxi, and it's finally time for the one-on-one battle to begin. Ash makes the first move and sends out his Gengar, while Marnie decides to go with her ace, Grimmsnarl, who is making its debut in the Pokemon anime. That's another Pokemon ticked off the very official Luap Pokédex, which details all the Pokemon who have made an appearance in the Pokemon Journeys anime. Grimmsnarl opens with Spirit Break, and Gengar tries to stop it with Dazzling Gleam. And fun fact, this marks the very first time that any of Ash's Pokemon has ever used the Fairy-type move. But Grimmsnarl passes right through and almost hits Gengar before just barely dodging it. Gengar, now having the upper advantage, fights back with Ice Punch, smashing Grimmsnarl to the ground. Gengar tries to continue hitting with Shadow Ball, but Grimmsnarl is quick on its feet and counters with False Surrender, landing a direct hit on Gengar. Marnie realizes that it's time for her to use the Dynamax and recalls her Grimmsnarl to its Pokeball, and we are catered to Gigantamax Grimmsnarl, and boy does it look terrifying. Grimmsnarl attacks with his signature move G-Max Snooze, as Gengar tries to protect itself with Dazzling Gleam. The G-Max move obviously overpowers this and causes Gengar to feel drowsy, but Gengar knows exactly what to do in this situation and immediately pulls its cheek so hard to remove its sleepiness. Gengar begins to startle Grimmsnarl by flying around him in circles. Marnie then commands Grimmsnarl to use Max Quake, and while Gengar gets hit by a rock, it quickly recovers and uses Sludge Bomb without Ash's command. Grimmsnarl of course pulverizes the Sludge Bomb, and at that point Ash realizes that it's tough to beat Grimmsnarl without doing some of the same thing, so he also decides to Gigantamax his own Gengar. As Gengar is Gigantamaxing, we get an awesome continuity shot of Alistar watching the battle on his phone in his own gym. I thought that was a nice touch that portrays Gengar's story in the past few episodes. Gengar begins by using Max Ooze, flooding the field with poisonous waters, but Grimmsnarl cancels it with Max Starfall. As Grimmsnarl reverts back to its normal form, Gengar decides to use Max Hailstorm, but Grimmsnarl dodges the pelting balls of snow and retaliates with Spirit Break one more time. Grimmsnarl then uses Dark Lariat, and in typical Ash fashion, he comes up with an outside-of-the-box tactic and commands Gengar to swallow the spinning Grimmsnarl, just in time before Gengar reverts back to its normal form. Gengar spits Grimmsnarl out of its mouth, and Grimmsnarl launches a super effective Stomping Tantrum. But Gengar also shoots a super effective Shadow Ball right back, knocking the rocks out of the way and landing a direct hit on Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl uses his last bit of energy to look back at his trainer just a few seconds before fainting. And with that, Ash Ketchum is crowned the winner. This moves Ash's World Coronations ranking to the 15th place. At the end of the day, Marnie lets off a big smile and congratulates Ash on a well-deserved win. And now for my ratings and reviews. Oof, what an episode that was. Can I just say first and foremost that Piers is the best gym leader from the Galar region portrayed in the anime so far, well, at least besides Raihan. He had the perfect mixture of comedy as well as seriousness and coolness. I definitely want to see more of him in the future, and I genuinely hope that he's not just a one-time character of the day. Moving on to the plot of this episode, it was also good to see Team Yell, and they were just as fun as I'd imagine, being tier 1 subs of Marnie. Marnie herself was extremely cute, but my major gripe, which is something I feared before the episode aired, is that she just wasn't very strong. It was basically implied throughout the episode, and Ash rather easily defeated her. She was easily the easiest opponent that Ash has had so far in the Ultra class, and yet she somehow made it this far. The battle itself was not the best battle in Journeys, but it was far from the worst too. It was nice to see the boy Gengar finally get another win in the World Coronation Series, and learning Dazzling Gleam and Sludge Bomb to boot. Lots of progress for Gengar as he continues to improve and be more and more of a threat on this team. When he just decided to swallow Grimmsnarl near the end of the battle, that was awesome too. The ending of this episode, like always, kind of implies that Lance is the weakest trainer in the Masters 8, which is weird because he literally just finished second only to Leon himself. With that being said, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode and I found the pacing to be near perfect, and my rating is a 9 out of 10. I know, I'm rating it rather high, and in fact it's my highest rated episode in quite a while. It's just I genuinely enjoyed this one. But with that being said, let's take a look at the preview trailer and do my predictions for episode 100. The preview begins with Ash telling Go that he's gonna go with Leon for some special training, and of course Go is surprised to hear that. Ash and Leon are riding on Charizard through the forest, while Go is holding on for dear life while Sonia drives him around. It's a cool parallel as always, with Go being a researcher and Ash of course aiming to be the strongest trainer in the world. We then get to see Leon's Dragapult again, and I'm hoping we get to see at least one more Pokemon on his team. I don't know, to me it's just always interesting to see more Pokemon on the teams that Ash might be facing soon. It was awesome seeing Cynthia's Rose Raid in the PLA specials. And then he says that he has a lot of fun training with Leon, and it's probably because they're just so similar in personality. Finally, it looks like some Rookidee are in trouble and Ash goes to save them. My prediction for this episode is that basically we'll finally get more character development for Leon. It's going to be a fun episode where we get to see both Ash and Leon grow in friendship just a bit more, as well as hopefully them sparring for just a little bit. I think that the leaked image we saw of Charizard vs Infernape takes place at the very beginning of this episode before Ash and Leon decide to train together. Perhaps Ash sees his battle and asks Leon to help him train or something. I'm not sure. I was predicting that it was going to be Ash's Charizard and Infernape battling each other to get ready for the Masters 8, but I just don't think so anymore. Overall, next week's episode looks extremely fun and I very much look forward to it. So yeah, that was my review for Pokemon Journeys episode 99 as well as my predictions for episode 100. If you guys enjoyed it, I highly urge you to hit the like button and subscribe. I make episode reviews every week just a few hours after the episode airs, so if you enjoy these reviews right after the episode, you know where to come. Today's comment of the day is, now that Ash is in the 15th place of the World Coronation Series, do you think he's going to lose once more before reaching the Masters 8? To me it seems highly unlikely at this point, but I do want him to lose at least once so he doesn't go into the Masters 8 too overconfident. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I truly appreciate you, and as always, it's been your boy Luap, and I'm out. Peace.
しっかり捕まっててください。行きますよ。ピカチュウ